Oh, it's good, people. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our first live reaction. It is the Falcons game or week 1 of the NFL season for the Atlanta Falcons. We lose. Falcons fall short. 18-10. 18-10. The Falcons scored on their first possession, go up 3-0. They score on their final possession of the first half to go up 10-9, and then they get shut out in the second half. We're gonna live react. We're gonna overreact a little bit. Live reactions are normally places for overreactions, right? So let's just get right into it. We're gonna wait for a few people to trickle in. When you see us, just give us a follow for the Splashcast. We will be podcasting on Monday. Tomorrow we'll be back for our live stream. So let's get into it, man. Let's stat me down, Shada. Let's stat each other down real quick. So for those that are watching on YouTube, I have the stats over here to my right, where the Falcons lost 18-10. We scored 10 points in the first half, 0 points in the second half. Justin Fields started for the Steelers. Background: Arthur Smith, the offensive coordinator, former Atlanta Falcons head coach. Arthur Smith, offensive coordinator. Justin Fields got the start. Russell Wilson out with a calf strain, so he didn't play. He was the emergency quarterback. Najee Harris, the running back, and of course George Pickens. Let's start off with the good things. The Falcons defense played about as well as you could ask outside of really one player. For the offense, they shut everybody else down. Justin Fields, 17-23, 156 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, averaging 6.8 yards per pass. You would take that every Sunday in football season from here to oblivion. If you can hold a quarterback to 156 yards and 0 touchdowns and 6.8 yards per attempt. Najee Harris, 20 carries on 70 for 70 yards. No touchdowns. The Falcons defense did not allow a touchdown in this game. Let me tell you something. If I'm a defensive player and I allow 0 touchdowns, my team allows 0 touchdowns and we lose, I'm cussing the offense out. I'm cursing the offense out with no love because we did our job. Justin Simmons played really, really well. Let's scroll down some of these stats. Justin Simmons played well. Caden Ellis, they are going to use him as a jack of all trades. Caden Ellis was out there. He had 9 total tackles, 4 solo, 0 tackles for loss. Mike Hughes, 7 solo tackles. You really don't want to have a lot of solo tackles from your cornerback. The Falcons were very, very nervous about our number 2 corner. Well, let me tell you something. It wasn't our number 2 corner getting cooked. It was A.J. Terrell. Now, I will say A.J. Terrell had to follow George Pickens. And if you know me, you know I'm a Georgia Bulldogs fan. And I've been high on George Pickens since he decided to flip from Auburn and go to UGA all those years ago. George Pickens, with the right quarterback, is going to be a top 10, possibly top 5 receiver in this league. Maybe this year, maybe next year. But Justin Fields proved if you could just get the ball out there to him, you really can't do anything. He had AJ Terrell in a blender, as my co-host Norwood says. He had AJ Terrell in a blender all game. But at the same time, you can be put in a blender. He only had 6 catches for 85 yards, and most of them, the long was 40 yards. So he really had 5 catches for 40 yards. That's what, 8 yards a catch? That's not bad. Again, it looks worse than it was, but we only allowed 18 points. We allowed 6 field goals. 6. And we had, 2 turnovers? 2 interceptions. Really could have been 4. Really should have been 4. 4 turnovers. TJ Watt. Let's start here. Let's start with the offensive line. What happened with the Falcons? Let's start with the offensive line. Caleb McGarry. TJ Watt ate your lunch today. Not only did he put you in a blender and destroy you, he destroyed you. Not only did he destroy you, Kyle Pitts, we're going to have to learn how to block, or we're going to have to put somebody over there with Caleb McGarry to help him, because Kyle Pitts isn't the blocking tight end. I'm going to start with, like I said, Caleb McGarry was awful. Zach Robinson. Norwood, as he says, we got scammed. Zach Robinson, our offensive coordinator. There's no way that you ran the exact same scam and clone of an offense that Arthur Smith ran. There's no way that Tyler Algier, or Allgeier, however you want to pronounce it, it's Algier as we know, had 3 rushes for 27 yards. He's averaging 7 yards a carry, and we gave him the ball 3 times. It's not like we had to really throw the ball a lot. The score was 18-10. It's not like it was a shootout. Why is Algier not being used correctly? If you're not going to use Algier correctly, go ahead and trade him, bruh. Trade Algier and a pick to go get a number 2 corner or to go get a number 2 wide receiver. There is no way that Ray McLeod should be leading our team in receiving. There's absolutely no way. As Norwood just says, we lost to a kicker. A kicker beat us. They could have not played offense. And they beat us just with defense. Now I do have to give shout out to Kay. I was talking a lot of trash to you on Instagram. I always talk trash to you. Y'all won. Your boy Jerry Porter Jr. had Drake London in jail. Drake London had 2 catches for 15 yards, and one of those catches came on the first drive, and that was for like 12 yards. So he had 1 catch for 3 yards, 1 catch for 8 yards. That's why you bring Darnell Mooney over here. You bring Darnell Mooney to be the number 2. You know what this loss tells me? One, we didn't play anybody in preseason, and we looked like it. We looked ill prepared on offense. We looked like we didn't know what to do with TJ Watt. We looked like we looked like we've never practiced a chip block ever. TJ Watt was out there spin moves, dancing. We stole a strip sack fumble from him. We stole it because he wasn't offsides. Y'all know he wasn't offsides. I knew he wasn't offsides. In the group chat, I said he wasn't offsides. We stole that. Kirk Cousins should have thrown 4 interceptions, and he threw 2. Our new OC has to figure it out. Also, Kirk Cousins, Terry Fontenot, this is why you bring in a Michael Penix Jr. I am not calling for Michael Penix Jr. to start next week. I am not doing that. I am not going to be a prisoner of the moment. But I am going to say, damn it, Kirk Cousins looked like he couldn't move. Even on that touchdown pass to Kyle Pitts where he was the 4th option, Kirk Cousins couldn't move. I don't know if that was by design, but shout out to the commentators. They made a point of it to say, hey, we've never seen Kirk Cousins in the pistol before. Now he's in the pistol. That means he can't move. He can't get back there to hand the ball off to Bijan. And I understand that you made this commitment. This 3-year, $150 million, $90 million at signing. I understand you made this commitment. But if he can't move, he was a statue back there. Can you imagine? TJ Watt was in training camp. You put a cone in front of him, and he's just going to practice his moves. Swim move, rip move, double club, chop, whatever. strip sack, play the run. Because Kirk Cousins can't move and Caleb McGarry ain't it for week 1. I am willing to put this as a learning experience. We got out-coached. Not by Arthur Smith. Arthur Smith, you were awful. We were out-coached by the defensive coordinator for Pittsburgh. We did not use Algier. Darnell Mooney had 3 targets with 1 reception. Ray-Ray McCloud had 7 targets. You know what that tells me? That tells me that Pittsburgh said we are not going to allow Bijan, Drake London, or Kyle Pitts to beat us. Kyle Pitts had 3 catches on 3 targets. Also, we had a lot of big calls brought back. Had a lot of big calls brought back. Kyle Pitts had about a 30-yard catch that was brought back. You know what that means? That's why you play in the damn preseason. You play in the damn preseason so you don't have these dumbass penalties happen in the first game. You know, when we played in high school, I was awful in high school. But you know how you play football in high school? You know what we had before you had a regular season game? A damn jamboree. A damn 7-on-7. A damn preseason game. All these penalties we had. Come on, I got the stats. Stat me down, Reggie. I'm about to stat you down. Don't worry about it. All these penalties that we had. What is it? Team stats. I'm going to go to team stats. All these penalties, false start, not doing what we're supposed to do. All of that, you're supposed to iron out in preseason. Running the wrong routes. Kirk Cousins throwing the ball. Kirk Cousins. The biggest knock on Kirk Cousins when it came to the offense and him playing quarterback is if you get him off schedule, he does not know how to adjust. And you add in the fact that he can't move, he damn sure can't adjust now. So you got Kirk Cousins out there, can't move. Caleb McGarry can't do anything. And then we have these penalties. We only have 5 penalties, but they came at the worst possible time. We had 3 turnovers. 1 fumble, and we had more than fumbles. We had other fumbles. We were bailed out by the refs. This was an indictment on the coaching staff. Shout out to Raheem. You're my man. You're my guy. I know that you'll get it together. I have faith in you forever. Just because I believe in you. But that does not absolve you of the fact that you and this team seemed very, very ill prepared. We didn't know what to do with TJ Watt, the literal sack champion, pause if necessary, for the last 3 of the last 4 years. The only time he didn't lead the league in sacks was when he got hurt, or was one of the leaders in sacks. He could have been. You had a case to be defensive player of the year last year. He got hurt the year before. Defensive player of the year before that. Defensive player of the year before that. He's got the Watt genes. They all play very good on the defensive line. Why would you not double team him the rest of the game? Listen, Alex Highsmith, I told y'all that we should have drafted him out of Charlotte way back when. I said, hey, if the Steelers let him go, you need to draft him. Cool. Go get him. I would let him go one-on-one with Jake Matthews before I let Caleb McGarry and TJ Watt go one-on-one. Can't do it. And Kirk Cousins, them interceptions, I don't even want to show them they were so bad. Those interceptions where you just flicking the ball out there, you look like who was that? You look like DJ. That's who he reminded me of. He looked like DJ Uiagalelei out there at Florida State / Clemson / Oregon State. Journey interception thrower. That's what you look like, Kirk Cousins. You just flicking the ball out there and just threw the game away. And then at this point, again, for y'all watching, I am not asking to get Michael Penix in the game yet. I'm not. He only played 1 freaking preseason play. 1 freaking preseason game. 1. If you're going to play 1 preseason game, you can't come in and just decide to play. Raheem Morris, you got to be better, dog. You got to be better when it comes to preparation. Zach Robinson, our offensive coordinator, you got to be better. Defense, I ain't really got nothing bad to say. AJ Terrell, George Pickens is one of those dudes. It is what it is. 20 to allow 137 rushing yards. That's not bad. Justin Fields had 57 of those. He had 14 carries. It's Justin Fields. You allow more rushing yards than passing, almost as more passing yards. Freiermuth, he did 4 for 27. Look at the stats if you're on YouTube. Stat me down. It's not bad. It's not bad. The Falcons defense was there. The Falcons defense was everything that was advertised. The Falcons defense was everything that was advertised. They played good against the run. They played well against the run. They played well against the pass. George Pickens, they did get away with that phantom offensive pass interference. That wasn't pass interference on George Pickens. But again, it is what it is. There were missed calls on both sides. So I'm not going to blame the refs, because if we won, I wasn't going to blame the refs. So I'm not going to blame the refs if we lose, because this could have gotten bad either way. The fumble on the snap, because the tight end didn't see the kill yet because Kirk Cousins didn't call for the motion in time. All of those are preseason things. And because I don't know if you thought this division was going to be bad, but the Saints just won 47-7 or whatever it was out there. I told y'all Carolina was going to be bad. Shout out to y'all like, follow, and subscribe from other teams. We appreciate you. We talk shit too. But I told y'all Carolina fans, y'all was going to be ass-tacular this year. I told y'all. And y'all are ass-tacular. But listen, y'all are trash. We may be compost on offense. I'm hoping we get it together. But Kirk Cousins looked like Kirk Cousins in Washington. The post, you like that Kirk Cousins. When he's bad, he's bad. And if he can't move, I'm not saying he's not the guy, but if he can't move, obviously you either have to trade Caleb McGarry. Hey, what's up, Mike? Give us a like, follow. I appreciate it, bro. Nice seeing you here. If Kirk Cousins cannot move, you are setting this team up for failure. There's only two options you have. You have to bench him and go back with Penix, which I'm not saying that's the right decision. Or you have to figure out how you're going to upgrade the right tackle position. Because Caleb McGarry got his ass kicked. And one thing about the NFL and all professional sports is that they're a copycat league. All they're gonna do is take their best defensive end or best rush in or whatever, and they're gonna put him one-on-one against Caleb McGarry, and they're gonna overcrowd the left side of their defensive line, or the right side of their defensive line, which would be the left. And they're gonna overcrowd that side. And all they're gonna do is blitz from the Jake Matthews side, because Jake Matthews wasn't bad. Alex Highsmith wasn't bad, was good. But Jake Matthews played pretty well. But T.J. Watt normally travels. What do you have? T.J. Watt normally travels. Ain't no need for that. We found the mismatch. We found Caleb McGarry being ass. So all we're going to do is we're going to keep kicking your ass every damn down. And for y'all that play sports, when you find that one person, that one wink link, they going to kick your ass every play. And TJ Watt figured out that Caleb McGarry was cooked and shook, and he kicked his ass every play. He didn't leave. Didn't matter if they put Kyle Pitts out there, Charlie Warner, didn't matter who was out there. All I know is at the end of the day, y'all don't want to lose Pitts, so I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna kill Caleb McGarry. And he killed Caleb McGarry, bro. He killed Caleb McGarry. So all in all, you got to play preseason games. It didn't make sense. We talked about it. It didn't make sense. Defensive wise, Judon was cool. I expect to see more from him as he gets back in shape. Grady Jarrett, bro. Ha! Salute, brother. Salute, Grady. Nothing bad to say about you, dog. Came back from a torn ACL to have a sack, to have 1.5 sacks, 2 tackles for loss, 2 solo tackles. Judon, half a sack, 1 solo. Played well. Ebiketie, Arnold Ebiketie, not bad. 4 solo tackles. Lorenzo Carter. Our defense played a hell of a game. I can't. The more I look at the stats, I said y'all played okay. Y'all played well. Our defense played a hell of a game. When a dude hits a 57-yard field goal, hell you gonna do? When a quarterback throws an interception in your own field, hell you gonna do? When the quarterback and the center and the tight end aren't on the same page when it comes to hand signals to cancel the motion, and you get a botch snap, defense, hey, you gonna do 3 points is a win. That to tell me that the defense allowed 6 field goals tells me they did their job. Troy Anderson. Also, shout out to the Falcons, our linebackers. We were trying to figure out how we were going to play Nate Landman, Troy Anderson, and Caden Ellis. 4 solo tackles for Ellis, 5 solo tackles for Landman, 5 solo tackles for Anderson, 6 solo tackles for Jesse Bates. They played well. That safety linebacker mesh that we have right now, they're playing awesome. Awesome. That was a great game. I have nothing bad to say about the front seven. Nothing. I would like to see some more pass rush. Maybe you get some Caden Ellis, Matthew Judon, Ebiketie, Grady. You get some of that. I noticed that we didn't really see a lot of other ends. Zach Harrison played a little bit. Eddie Goldman played a little bit. D'Angelo Malone played a little bit. But they didn't really play as much as I thought they would. James Smith-Williams played okay. But we may need to go get a right tackle. Or you can make some roster moves to go get a second receiver. Mooney, you know, it's really hard for me to criticize all the skill positions either now that I think about it. As I'm going through this live as we talk about it. Remember, if you join, give us a like and a follow. The second half, we didn't score, and we really didn't come close to scoring because so how you talk about Darnell Mooney when he only had 3 targets? How do you talk about Drake London? Now, Drake London, you got blanketed. It can't happen if you want number 1 money. Charlie Warner, 2 targets. Kyle Pitts, 3 targets. I mean, he only threw the ball 23 times. 7 of them went to Ray McCloud. I said that earlier. You can't have that and not run the ball. And you don't. You have 2 really good running backs. Don't Arthur Smith yourself and only give the ball to Allgeier. Only give the ball to Bijan. Bijan is dynamic. 18 rushes to 3 is not good. And if Kirk Cousins can't move, it really needs to be 20 rushes for Bijan, 10 rushes for Allgeier. That's 30 rushes. After that, if you give me 30 rush attempts, 10 for Allgeier, 20 for Bijan, or 18-12, 15-15 if Algier is playing well, 10-20, however you want to do it, I'm okay with that. But you got to get him involved. He was running through the Steelers, running through them, and they were beat down. Shout out to Nick, was good. You've got to figure out a way to get everybody else involved. But you may have to go 2 tight end. If Caleb McGarry is going to be this bad and you got to stick with him, you may have to go 2 tight ends fully and just motion Kyle Pitts out and leave Charlie Warner over there with Caleb McGarry. That may be the only thing that you can do. Because you can't use Bijan that much and then use him to chip. That's not going to work. You can't bring in Allgeier to use him to chip. That's not going to work because that's going to tip your hand. Y'all better figure out what y'all going to do with Kirk Cousins. Y'all better figure out what y'all going to do with this second receiver. Darnell Mooney looks like he could be a really good slot receiver, but you may need to go get somebody else. I like Ray. I like you. 7 targets that's not your role on this team. Can't happen. Zach Robinson. Again, I'm willing to give this as a mulligan. I'm willing for this to be a mulligan. We ain't played nobody in preseason. I want y'all right now to go outside and just sprint 50 yards. Right now, you know you're going to pull a hamstring. You know why? Because you ain't warm up. Nothing happened. It's the same thing in football. I look for our coaches to make better decisions. I look for Zach Robinson to put in a better game plan to use Algier. I look for our defense to just if y'all don't allow any touchdowns for the season or just allow field goals, I'm happy. If we allow 18 points a game, I'm happy. If we allow 0 field goals, I'm happy. If we allow 0 passing or rushing touchdowns, 0 touchdowns, I'm happy. 2 sacks, I'm happy. I would like to see more, but again, Judon didn't practice, didn't really play. I will ask y'all this before I go. And y'all can let me know in the chat or just let me know when you see this video. Do you think the Falcons need to make a move to get another corner? If so, who would you get rid of? Or do you go get a right tackle? There's really nobody you can go get right now. Or do you go get a number 2 receiver? All of these other skill positions on offense don't matter if you don't figure out the right tackle position. Caleb McGarry, get your shit together. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. I'm gonna try to do this every Sunday or Thursday or Monday when we play. Now the offense looks this bad. Game 2, it's gonna be a little different. I'm going to give y'all a mulligan. See y'all tomorrow on live for the rest of the reaction for the rest of